Welcome to In the Beginning Profiles of the Bible. Today we'll be covering Ishmael, first son of Abraham. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We hope you enjoy. Ishmael is quite an important figure in the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament. He is the son of Abraham, the patriarch of the Israelites, and Hagar, Sarah's maidservant. Ishmael's story is significant as it shows the themes of family, loyalty, faith, and the fulfillment of God's promises. The story of Ishmael begins in the book of Genesis, specifically in chapter 16. At this point, Abraham and Sarah were childless, despite God's promises that Abraham would be the father of many nations. Sarah, growing impatient, suggests that Abraham take Hagar as a concubine to bear children for them. Abraham agrees, and Hagar becomes pregnant with Ishmael. However, tensions arise with the household after Ishmael's birth. Sarah becomes jealous of Hagar and Ishmael, leading to Hagar being mistreated and eventually fleeing into the wilderness. It is in this moment of desperation that God intervenes, promising to protect and bless Ishmael, making him the father of a great nation. Ishmael grows up in the wilderness and becomes a skilled archer. He marries an Egyptian woman and has 12 sons, who became founders of the Arab tribes. Ishmael's descendants are described as a large and prosperous nation in the Bible, a fulfillment of God's promises to Abraham. The story of Ishmael is also tied to the story of circumcision in the Bible. When Ishmael is 13 years old, God commands Abraham to circumcise himself and all the males in his household as a sign of the covenant between God and Abraham. This is a ritual that is seen as a symbol of obedience and faithfulness to God's promises. Despite being the firstborn of Abraham, Ishmael is not chosen as the heir of God's covenant. Instead, Isaac, the son born of Sarah in her old age, is given this privilege. This decision creates further tension between Ishmael and Isaac, leading to Ishmael and Hagar being banished from Abraham's household. Ishmael's story continues throughout the Bible with references to his descendants and the role that they play in biblical history. The Bible portrays Ishmael and his descendants as a strong and numerous nation living in the wilderness and often in conflict with other people. In the New Testament, Ishmael is referenced as an allegory for the relationship between law and grace in Galatians 4:21-32. The Apostle Paul uses the story of Ishmael and Isaac to illustrate the difference between living under the law and living by faith in Christ. Ishmael represents the bondage of the law, while Isaac represents the promise of freedom through faith in Christ. Ishmael's story in the Bible serves as a reminder of God's faithfulness in his promises, even in the midst of human frailty and mistakes. Ishmael's descendants have played a significant role in shaping the history of the world, particularly in the Middle East, where the Arab nations trace their lineage back to him. Through Ishmael, we can see the importance of trusting God's plan and holding fast to his promises, even in the face of challenges and diversity. The nations that are said to have come from Ishmael are primarily in the Arab world. And Ishmael is described as the father of 12 sons who became founders of 12 tribes or princes. While the specific names of these sons are not provided in the Bible, tradition and historical sources have identified various Arab tribes and nations that descended of Ishmael. But it is important to note that the connection between Ishmael and these Arab nations is based on tradition and historical sources and interpretation of the biblical text, but the Bible does not provide a comprehensive genealogy of Ishmael's descendants, so the exact lineage and names of the tribes may vary among different sources and traditions. The belief is the shared ancestry with Ishmael remains as an important aspect of the Arab identity and the cultural heritage. These type of nations, a group associated with the Arab people as a whole, the Arabs are a diverse ethnic group and is spread across the Middle East and North Africa, speak various dialects of the Arabic language, and share a common cultural heritage. Another group also often associated with Ishmael is the Ishmaelites. These were a nomadic tribe or group of tribes that lived in the Arabian Peninsula and were known for trading activities. They are mentioned in the Bible as being involved in the sale of Joseph, son of Jacob, to the Egyptians. The Nabateans, who inhabited the region of ancient Edom and southern Jordan, are believed to have descended from Ishmael. The Nabateans were known for their sophisticated water management systems and their rich culture, including the famous city of Petra. The Odirites were an Arab tribe linked to Ishmael in the Bible. The Odirites lived in the Arabian desert and were known for their skills in archery and their involvement in a caravan trade. They are mentioned in the prophetic texts such as Isaiah and Jeremiah. In addition to these specific tribes and groups, many Arab nations and tribes were believed to have descended from Ishmael. The Arab people as a whole, with a rich tradition and cultural heritage that traces back to Ishmael and his descendants. Again, it is important to note that the connection between them is due to tradition and historical sources and interpretation of biblical texts, but the Bible does not provide a comprehensive genealogy of Ishmael's descendants. This has been In the Beginning, Profiles of the Bible. Today we have covered Ishmael, the first son of Abraham. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we have a great day.